Dickens, Dinosaurs, Darwin, and Diego Rivera. But this is not the D-tag. This is my plans for November, my November TBR. My name is Jim. This is my channel. Books, reading, and stuff. First off, I want to finish my October reading. Nicholas Nickleby. I have 200 pages left. I'm due to finish this about the 6th or 7th of November, and when I've finished it, I'll have read all of Dickens' completed novels. Then I have Daisy Jones, another D, Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins-Reid. I haven't seen the TV series. I don't really watch TV series. I don't have Netflix or any of the other streaming services, but I'm interested in reading the book. I've heard Taylor Jenkins-Reid is a great storyteller. I haven't read anything by her. My wife read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn and Hugo and really liked it. I'm more interested in the music business than in Hollywood, so I've chosen Daisy Jones and the Six. I can't hold it up. I can put a picture up because it's somewhere behind all that spider's webs, Halloween spider's webs. Here is Abby, our beagle. I'll be reading about a beagle, but not this beagle. The Voyage of the Beagle by Charles Darwin. November is non-fiction November, when we're encouraged on BookTube to read non-fiction titles. I don't read a lot of non-fiction. I mostly read fiction. I like stories, but I have 4 non-fiction books on my November TBR. The Voyage of the Beagle by Charles Darwin. I wanted to read this for a while. Charles Darwin made a voyage around the world in 1831, and what he saw in South America, the differences in the finches between the mainland and some of the islands and some of the other things, got him thinking about how these species evolved, how they originated. And he was later to write the origin of the species, from where we get this theory of evolution. And Melinda of A Web of Stories suggested one of the words we could use for non-fiction was journey, and The Voyage of the Beagle is certainly a great journey. Also for non-fiction, Bill Bryson, The Life and Times of the Thunderbolt Kid. This is about Bill Bryson as a kid growing up in America in the 1950s. I have a mixed feelings about Bill Bryson. I really like Mother Tongue, where he looks at languages, particularly the English language, but I'm not too happy about him describing Britain as a small island, because it's not a small island. I studied geography. Britain's a big island. It's the biggest island in Europe. Sorry, Bill. A third non-fiction book. This could have been for Victober, because it's about 2 Victorian paleontologists who were great rivals. Now I'm using this for non-fiction November, The Dinosaur Hunters. It's about 2 rival dinosaur hunters, paleontologists, Gideon Mantell and Richard Owen. I've already read about Mary Anning when I read Remarkable Creatures by Tracy Chevalier, which I really liked. The first chapter of this is about Mary Anning. She was the mother of paleontology. When the Victorians started, paleontology wasn't really a study. There was this idea of undergroundology, studying what we find underground. Even geology was very much in its infancy in the studies in Victorian times. So I'm looking forward to this. And I also have Rivera. I started this in Framed in September. It's about Diego Rivera. I've read about a quarter of it. And like with a lot of these Taschen books, I find the text quite dry, although I like all the wonderful pictures inside of the artworks. Every month before I put out a TBR, I put a poll on my community tab of 4 books, usually on my Kindle, that I'm interested in reading, to get you to help me choose my TBR. And this time I put 4 books: The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, The Shadow of the Morgue by Cara Devlin, The Lies of Loch Lamora by Scott Lynch, and Ascendant by Michael R. Miller. And So far, the poll is a resounding victory for Robin Hobb, The Assassin's Apprentice, with 71% of the votes. The poll is still open if you wish to vote, but I can't see anyone toppling Robin Hobb this month. Usually it's a lot closer in the rankings. I don't know a lot about The Assassin's Apprentice. I've heard from fantasy booktubers that Robin Hood is merry men in the Sherwood Forest, but Robin Hobb is a fantasy writer and she writes wonderful fantasy series. Also, I have the Overspill from October, Verity, Colleen Hoover. I'm not sure if I'll finish this. Maybe. I'm on page 120, so it's not halfway yet, but this is really too spicy for me. I wanted to see what Colleen Hoover was like. I know what she's like now. I won't be reading any more books by her, but I might finish Verity. And I'm also reading The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett, which won the Hugo Award for Best Novel this year, 2025. It's fantasy mystery. There's a murder in a fantasy world, and the murder victim swallowed this plant spore, which led to a plant rapidly growing through him and killing him. And it's being investigated by these two investigators, fantasy Sherlock Holmes and Watson. And so far it seems very good, but I've been more focused on reading Nicholas Nickleby in the month of October. So that's what I'm reading. What are you reading? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, you give it a thumbs up. This will help me with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.